I saw this and I definitely wanted to share it in case some people don't follow it because it's definitely interesting. I don't really understand why people think that enforcing our immigration laws is such a big deal. It really makes no sense to me. It's like people just think that everybody has a right to be in America for whatever reason, and if they don't get that right, we're going to attack federal officers. Yeah, check this out. I'm going to speed it up a little bit because he talks kind of slow.
This is just the last 4 months and only attacks on ICE. So this is just a small portion of the overall picture. On June 6th in Los Angeles, hundreds of rioters sprayed graffiti on a federal court building and hurled chunks of broken concrete towards officers.
Like, what in the third world nonsense is this? Like, why? Why concrete? Probably because you can't actually obtain a gun legally. Why? Why can't you obtain a gun legally and then go out there and try and shoot them? Granted, I'm not advocating for you to go out there and get a gun illegally or legally and try and shoot federal officers, but if you're out there just hurling fucking rocks at people, that is assault with a deadly weapon. It is just as bad as fucking trying to shoot somebody.
Border Patrol officers were pelted with rocks and cement. Per the DOJ's website, more than 1,000 rioters surrounded a DHS branch building, preventing detainees from being processed. And one ICE agent was injured when a rock hit the windshield of his vehicle. One man threw a Molotov cocktail at officers, injuring 3 deputies. Eventually, as we all remember, the National Guard was called in.
It is, like, why aren't these people just, like, considered domestic terrorists and immediately apprehended? And I would assume a majority of them that were causing violence absolutely were apprehended. But why aren't they just locked away, taken out of civilized society? Because we all know you don't belong in the society. Because when something doesn't go your way or you don't get what you want, you freak out, you act violent, and you don't understand how the system works. You're welcome to protest. You're not welcome to impede federal law enforcement, ever, under no circumstances.
On June 18th, hundreds of rioters surrounded an ICE office in South Portland, which is, of course, a hotbed of Antifa terrorism. They spent a week targeting the building with bricks, glass bottles, fireworks.
Do they think that just because they're not using actual firearms that they're not going to get in trouble for this stuff? I genuinely don't understand the thought process here.
They were not forcibly dispersed at any point. It was a rerun of 2020 when they sieged courthouses. In this case, they blocked government vehicles attempting to exit the ICE office. Several rioters assaulted law enforcement, including by shining a laser pointer in an officer's eyes, causing temporary blindness.
You know, I don't mean to give credit where credit's due, but that is malicious as fuck. Like, I'm going to use a laser pointer to blind you. That's like throwing sand in somebody's eyes during a fucking fist fight.
A day later, a rioter tried to drill plywood doors onto the ICE office to trap the officers inside. And that same day, in a separate attack,